What's good, everybody? Welcome to Just Everyday People, where we uncover and celebrate the uniqueness in everyday people. I am your host with the good hair, Laolu, Jesusbaby. Thank you for tuning in. We have a great discussion lined up for you today. I'll be speaking to one of my great friends, Toyosi, Awofisoye. She's a radiographer, and she has a unique take on purpose from her journey, coming from Nigeria to the UK and studying here, taking some time out to do some more studying, to find herself. I really hope you guys enjoy the discussion. So let's get into it. Hi, TY.
Hello.
Hey, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. It's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
It's awesome. It's awesome. You're one of my oldest friends. I feel like I've known you since 2000 and what is it? 5, 6, 7?
A long time.
It's been a long time, isn't it?
One of my most embarrassing moments is with you.
Is it really? Tell me. I think I forgot it.
I don't know if you remember. I think I was sat behind you. I don't want to tell the whole world, but do you remember? You remember that?
I don't.
You were sat behind me somewhere, and I was trying to fix my trousers or something.
No. No, completely gone. I don't remember.
I'm glad you don't remember. Erase that memory.
You were really embarrassed about it. Was this in church?
Yeah, it was.
Lovely. Amazing.
Wonderful.
Well, yeah, thank you again for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm glad. It's good to see you doing good things. Yes,
Amen.
It's good. Set the way for us. We'll follow.
Hey, man, we're trying. So if it's okay with you, can I give us a bit of a background of, I don't know who you are, where you're coming from?
Okay, so my name is my name is Toyosi, actually. Toyosi. Many people call me TY or T. It's mostly been that way. My parents sometimes call me Toyets. I live in Manchester. I studied in the University of Hertfordshire.
Okay.
And then I also actually had a 2-year gap where I kind of went through a Bible course, volunteering for charities / life service kind of a thing.
Okay.
And then after those 2 years, I returned to work, and I work in radiotherapy as a therapy radiographer / practitioner. Yeah.
Awesome. Wow, there's a lot to get into. I'm excited.
There you go. That's a lot of info all in one.
No, it's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so from a younger age, I'm not sure, were you born here or did you come into the country?
I came here, yeah.
Okay. So, in coming to the country, did you feel like you knew what you wanted to do? Or did you feel like you had a lot of influences kind of educating you, okay, I feel like maybe you should go into this route or into this route? Or did you just have an idea?
I think, unfortunately or fortunately, as Nigerians, right? I don't know if your parents are the same. Do you know
Exactly the same.
Medicine, engineering. Engineering is
Lord.
half. Lawyer or a disgrace. Unfortunately, I'm the disgrace.
That disgrace. That's nice.
So, but I think at an early age, my parents wanted us all to be doctors. You know, I've got 3 brothers, so I mean, you know already.
Yeah.
And my dad wanted 4 doctors.
Wow.
It just wasn't going to happen. What are the odds? Do you know what I mean? We're not all going to like it. And because they worked in the medical field, both of my parents.
Okay.
They kind of steered us in that direction. So it was kind of the only option for us growing up, to be honest.
Okay.
I remember, my dad was a biology teacher, and it was just into sciences from a young age. Like, you're eating chicken, you better know what bone it is you're eating.
Wow, one of those. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
You better know it's the femur when you get there, you know. You might be fine, but you better know.
Wow, okay. That's interesting. And your mom as well, was she the same?
Kind of science-based for us, yeah.
Okay. And your mom, was she the same as well?
My mom, she was a nurse, so she wasn't the same as my dad. My dad's kind of a disciplinarian. My mom's obviously, mothers are typically more nurturing.
Okay.
She didn't, question us the same way that my dad always did, but she was also in the medical field, and my dad pushed us quite a lot because she felt that my mom could have done better if she had someone to push us. So he felt he needed to push us to be better. Because if my mom, she's really smart, so my dad thought, why did you end up being a nurse? Nurses are great, so I don't know what his feeling was. You shouldn't have been a nurse. You're so much smarter. So he wanted to push the rest of us so we could be the best we could, so to say. But that was, to him, that was science.
Okay. So when you were younger, did you feel like you had an affinity for science, or did you have like other hobbies or other things you wanted to do?
Do you know what? It's so weird. In school, I was always really... I always played devil's advocate. So if you said the sky was blue, I'd say it's white. You know, I just love doing that.
Okay.
Just for fun. So I would do that with all my friends, and they all said, "Oh, you should be a lawyer," because. And then I joined a debate group. Okay. So with that, you could kind of like I would argue a lot, basically. Okay. So people said, "Oh, you should be a lawyer," but my dad, like I said, was. My only option was science.
So did you enjoy it when you were speaking, when you were arguing cases, when you were just debating people?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Huh.
I did, yeah.
So did you feel like around that time you kind of developed some skills that are helping you today?
Arguing?
I mean, because debating, let's be honest, you have to speak in front of people. You have to present your point. It's a skill that you feel, that some people develop.
I think I developed a skill from that. I don't know if it's a skill, actually. I think because I actively sought to disagree with people for fun, I'm able to see things from a different point of view because I already explored all these different angles. Okay. And sometimes, whilst I'm disagreeing with them, knowing it wasn't right, so if I said the sky was blue, I could do so much research on why it's white that I could learn something from it. So I was used to trying to see things from different points of view and different angles. So yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I guess I learned that. So typically now, a lot of my friends can have a problem with me not... Yeah. If they say, "Oh, someone did something to me," and I'm like, "Oh, maybe they were,
Oh, you always present the other.
I'm
like a contrarian.
Annoyed with me, so it's easy to just accept. Yeah, that girl's a horrible person.
Okay. Yeah, and it's interesting how you kept that out of the house. You didn't bring that mindset into the house. Into the idea that Daddy, I could be a scientist, or I could do what I really want to
do. That's a good point, actually.
Yeah, but you gotta keep that out of the house.
My dad doesn't play, so no. Okay. You know my dad, Laolu.
Oh yeah. I know. Straight arrow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, do you feel like you know your purpose?
Do I feel like I know my purpose? It's interesting. I don't know. I feel like I have a very different, I think this is probably what I just said now, I have a very different view to purpose that most of people do. Don't come for me, people. That's good. Don't come for me. Hands up, don't you?
Honestly, I feel like this is really good to get as much information, knowledge, different angles as possible. Because the idea is people are going to have an idea that, okay, this is what I think it is. Okay, you have a different idea. Okay, let's discuss. So this is kind of what... I feel like the whole point of the channel is.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like a lot of the times, and growing up, I've heard a lot of people say, you need to find your purpose, follow your purpose. But I think purpose can be fluid, I think many times we overthink it and overcomplicate it. Okay. I think if I had a time in my life, I'm a Christian, so disclaimer, my point of view comes from a Christian point of view. So I really wanted to know, what's God doing with me? What's God going to do? And sometimes you don't really need to know where you're going. It's like you do need to know where you're going, but if you're really walking with the Lord, you don't need Lord, tell me in my 10 years time plan, It's like sometimes it's like, just help that woman with their shopping,
So just the next thing and the next thing.
Being in the present, Okay. So I think if you really follow the Lord, you just, it's like the Bible says on my WhatsApp, it says, following the Lamb wherever we go. Wherever the Lamb goes, we go. So I feel like you can say, oh, this is where I want to do this. And I think a lot of the time when we want to know our purpose, we have an idea of what we want to do. My purpose, I want to write a book, or I want to do something. Many times we're simply presenting it to
Okay.
the Lord or the world, or
Okay.
we have this idea that we want to manifest.
Okay.
But I think purpose is just, finding where you are now and being what the Lord wants you to be in that moment.
Okay.
So I don't personally overthink
Okay.
my purpose in terms of, I want to have this ministry, or
Okay.
I want to do this, or I want to do that. But there are desires that I have, obviously, but I just present them before the Lord, like, I want to follow your will. This is simply what I think. When you think of this year, a lot of plans.
Yes.
Look at
We're
COVID.
derailed.
We're just all planning.
Yeah.
How many countries we would have traveled to? The Lord's simply laughing at us, So I think purpose. Do I know my purpose? I do know my purpose, but I think that purpose is found in the Lord, and my purpose is to be found in the Lord. And as much as possible, I feel like the human flesh doesn't want us to be in the Lord. We want to be in ourselves. We want to be enjoying the flesh, So I think being one who is constantly being found in the Lord, I think that is the highest calling, really. That is the highest calling.
Okay. So, if I may just to
yes,
understand what you're saying, you feel like a purpose is not necessarily goals or achievements. It's more so a relationship that you build, or a constant communication. And then as you get, I guess, to the next part, then you understand a bit more. Then you get to the next part, then you understand a bit more. Is that?
I think purpose can be both things.
Okay.
But I think goals, I guess you can say, okay, this is what you're doing at the moment, Okay. Personally, I believe in like people's functioning rather than, okay, if you feel like, your purpose is to be, you see a lot of the relationship, what people did in the word, it kept changing, right? So you can say this person functioned as a pastor in this moment. This person functioned as an apostle in this moment. They might function as a teacher. So many different things that you can function as. Without being like, okay, my purpose is to be an apostle, So I feel like it is just doing in that time what the Lord really places on your heart, and really following the Lord. If the Lord says, move to Poland, off you go.
Okay. Okay, I get. So our purpose is kind of dictated by seasons. So in this season, this is what I want you to fulfill. You do it. You do
I believe that. Yes.
Okay, and then in the next season, you may fulfill a different role, maybe a different function.
Absolutely.
Yeah? Okay, awesome. And you said you know what your purpose is.
Yes.
Are you willing to share?
Well, the thing is, when you say, "Do I know what my purpose is?"
Yeah.
I think my purpose is heavily intertwined. That word's difficult for me. With the body of Christ and the church.
Okay.
And I think it's just really fulfilling the Lord's desire, which is to gain one body, right? So I think, I believe my purpose is to help him fulfill that. In terms of division in the church, in terms of really what the Lord had in his heart regarding the church, his desire to gain one body, right? So to gain one body, one building. So I think my purpose is to help the Lord fulfill that.
Okay. That is very interesting. And when do you feel like you came to an understanding of that? Because you spoke about when you were in uni, you had was it a gap, some time out that you took to maybe go to Bible college?
Oh yes, that was a few years ago. That was after uni. That was
uni.
When I started working.
Excuse me. Yeah. Okay. So yes, did you know before then or after then the purpose?
I knew before then, just before, yeah, I knew
Okay.
maybe a few years before then.
Okay.
I think really I just went through a time, and I think some people that know me knew about this. Went through a time where I just had to unlearn a lot of things that I believed about Christianity, and a lot of the things that were instilled in me as a child that, you know, you never really thought of the source, but really it was just wrapped around traditions and not necessarily what the word says. So it was just taking the time to separate that as much as possible, you know.
Okay.
I'm not saying I'm there now, but it's just a lot of the time I think religion can be wrapped around tradition when actually this is not what the pure word says. This is the word wrapped around, you know, being Ghanaian or being Nigerian, being English, being Brazilian, whatever. Yeah.
That is interesting. Okay. So I would like us to maybe go back a little bit, if that's okay.
Yes.
It seems like, so you said you feel like your passion, your purpose, is really to be a part of unifying the body of Christ.
Yeah.
Yes. Now you're a radiographer.
Yes.
Yes. Scientist. Go on. And you're also an avid traveler.
Yes.
As well. You're also a photographer.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, could you tell me where they all merge? Or are these just...
Where they all merge?
Yeah, or are these just things that you just pursue just because you enjoy them? I mean, okay, so we understand the genesis of the science. Okay, so the science comes from, you know, your parents wanting you to do something within the science field. Pretty much they wanted you to be a doctor. And then you just, you know, went down that road and you found the best one for you. Yes. Now, you wouldn't call that your purpose?
Wow. That's arguable. I feel like this is the thing, what I say about purpose. I feel like I'm being purposeful in my job. I feel like I open the way, or I try. I don't really. I want to do more. You know, I want to open the way for the Lord to have a way to fulfill His purpose, even in my job. So my job is it's a complex matter. So I work in a cancer specialist hospital. So it is, oncology is the game. So it is quite a complex matter. So it's in those moments that I allow the Lord to say something, or allow the Lord to let me do something, you know. It's those moments that I feel like, yes, I can fulfill purpose, you know, even in my workplace. So yeah, I don't feel like I'm out of purpose working in a 9 to 5.
That is different. That is amazing. I don't think we've heard that on the show yet. No, it's true. So now the photography and the traveling. Are those are two things that you just enjoy doing?
Yes, those are two things I enjoy doing. But like I said, in terms of photography, that's something I just enjoy doing. And when the Lord allows me, I can do it for the body or for someone. Yeah. But that's really something I just enjoy doing, basically. I mean, travel as well. I feel like the Lord has had a way to move in many situations. You know, I can visit many cities, and I can visit, you know, believers in those cities. Like last time I was in Malaysia in January, I was able to go to a conference there, you know. So like, you can do both things, you know. When I was in Singapore, after that, I was able to go to another Christian conference. So the Lord can grant you the way to merge these things together. So yeah, so that the Lord is not kind of left out of it, especially if you're not a Christian, this is nothing to you. You know, you're just loving your life and living your life. So, but if you are, it's opening the way for the Lord to constantly be able to do
Okay.
to have an openness from you for the Lord to do something, basically, that are you willing to, It's hard though.
It's hard.
It is hard, especially at work. It's hard. I don't know whether you've been in those kind of situations.
Oh yeah. So do you mean in being an open Christian?
An open Christian, I think that might be hard too, yeah.
Or
but I
do you
think
mean like maybe taking it a step further?
Maybe witnessing to someone, that's quite hard, to a colleague. Oh my goodness, yeah. You can do it in a subtle way, if they ask you about something. To a patient is nearly out of line. So.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah, it is hard. But in my workplace, they have I think most hospitals have like a chapel or something.
Okay.
Sometimes you go in, people write prayer points in my one, and you can just pray over those. Sometimes there's someone in there who just needs a bit of attention or someone to pray with, to do that. So yeah.
Okay. So how do you feel like your faith has impacted your understanding of purpose? I guess at the moment it seems like it's you can't put them apart simply because your faith and
I think to be honest, it'll be interesting to be someone who's not a Christian actually, because I feel like my purpose is almost entirely wrapped around my faith. So mine is completely wrapped around it. Okay. There's no separating it. I think it'd be a good point of view to see from somebody who's not a Christian, who just wants to live for themselves. I think many times their purpose is wrapped around having a nice family, or these are not negative things, they're completely positive things, or just experiencing the world, or I don't know. But I think even my desires, I can present them to the Lord and give him an avenue to even use those things to have a way to further his kingdom, so to say.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you for that.
I feel like I'm breaking you out.
No. It's interesting. I'm just, really trying to focus on the, on what your points are. Okay. Yes. So for this one, I have a lot of friends, a lot of them young women, who place an amazing amount of emphasis on finding a spouse and not necessarily walking in line or finding their purpose. So they feel like pretty much one of the main aims that I need to do is find a spouse, and then maybe I found my purpose. Do you understand? So I guess my question now is, do you think everyone needs a spouse to fulfill purpose?
Well, I think it depends on what purpose is. Do you know what I mean? If your purpose is to raise a family in a heterogeneous home, of course your purpose is wrapped around finding a spouse. So it depends on what your purpose is. If your purpose is it depends on what your purpose is. I don't think your purpose necessarily has to be in line with another person for you to have a purpose at all. I do think that if you are in a journey with somebody, I think having a companion to walk that purpose
to
with,
help you with it,
especially if you're going in the same direction, it is a much more fun, much more. The Lord doesn't need. He wants like homes. Do you know what I mean? Like people. He loves family. So for my purpose, I think a spouse is something that would enhance and exacerbate and increase the Lord's goals and desire. But I don't think without that there's no way. I don't think if you don't have a spouse, you can't have purpose. Absolutely not. And I hope nobody thinks that. I mean, that's quite sad if that's what you think. I mean, I really hope not.
Because that leads me on to my next question.
Fire away.
Excuse me. Do you think there is a lot of emphasis placed on people by society and families to find a spouse instead of maybe encouraging them to find their purpose? and then maybe a spouse will come. Do you understand?
Yeah, I think.
Because if you
I
go
think
back
that
to like families, how do we grow up? How are we taught? How are women, specifically within the African community, how are they brought up to think? I don't know. Maybe. Sorry, I'm sorry. I was cutting you off. I'm sorry.
No, you're not cutting me off. I'm listening to you. I mean, I want to know what you think.
You first, and then I'll go.
Okay. I mean, absolutely, I agree. I think there is a lot of emphasis played on people finding spouses, especially women, finding spouses and then finding their purpose. You know, it's like, oh, go to school and then go to university, and as soon as you graduate, where's your husband?
Where's the husband? Where's the man at? That's true.
Even for people whose parents, like mine, were like, no boys, no boys, no boys, you know, no boys, never boys. And it's like, okay, boys.
Where the boys at? That is true.
Like, it's like 0 to 100. How can I have no boys and then, oh, quick, get married, you know? I mean, my parents are slightly chill, so that's fine. But I think, I think there is a lot of purpose, a lot of emphasis placed on that. However, I don't think it's intentional. I think this is very controversial. I think they're victims, you know. I think they say that because that's what they know, you know.
Okay.
I think your parents probably say this to you because this was what was passed down to them. This was what their parents told them was important, and so I feel like the more people, I think variety is great anyway. So I think the more people think differently from that, you know, the more that you can find your point of view, what you want to do, the more you find it okay, and you don't feel like you're not walking in line with what the rest of the world is doing, you know.
Okay.
And I think you can. I can't imagine a young person saying, "No, I never want to get married." Oh my days, their parents will collapse. I mean, if you're Nigerian.
Yeah.
So I feel like that kind of variety, you kind of need to have it, so that you just need a balance in the world, you know. So, but I think a lot of people that think that, I think it's because it's just been passed down to them. So I mean, if your parents are like that, it's because that's what they know, you know. That's what they know. They're probably not necessarily being like, oh, I want to be evil to my child. It's just that's what they've been told, and this is what they've seen to be successful, and
victims of their upbringing, of their society.
Exactly. I mean, we're all kind of we're all affected by everything we see and hear, and you know, as much as we may or may not be aware of it, but we are.
That is true, because if we were to look at the Western world, especially in UK, there is not a lot. I mean, from some of my friends, you know, that have been around, there isn't that heavy emphasis on find a spouse. It's more about, okay, so where are you in line with the world? What do you want to do? What do you want to do in the next 2 years, 3 years? And then if the opportunity to maybe find a spouse, to get a husband or a wife comes up, then okay, they're happy to go on with it. Do you understand? But there's no heavy-handed that you must find a man, or we must train you to cook so you'll be good for a man, or you must train you to know how to fix a car or to set up a house so you'll be a good husband or a good father. Do you understand? Because a lot of the times, even when we're just teaching people mundane things, and we say it's for you to be a good wife or a good husband, it's kind of like training their mind that, okay, so I feel like my role here is really just to be someone else's other half, rather than find out who I really am, why am I here, what am I meant to do, and then while I'm doing that, I guess whoever wants to come on the journey with me, and then we align, then we can, you know, work that journey together. That's kind of what I think. And
I think especially for women as well, because for a long time, I think men, well,
go on, let's hear it. Let's hear
it. I think men for a long time have wanted someone who doesn't do a lot. Do you know what I mean? Who cooks. And that's
it. So all we want is a woman who cooks. That's it. Doesn't talk too much. Doesn't give us trouble.
What
That's
did she
it.
say? I don't really follow like Nigerian news or anything, but yesterday I'm currently with my brother here in Wakefield.
Okay.
Don't know if I said that already. They played something where the president said something like, "Oh, he said, I can't remember the question. It was something like, please, if you remember, drop it down in the comment for Laolu."
Please.
It was something like, "Oh, where is your woman's place?" or something like that. "Where's your wife's place?" And I said, "Oh, my wife's place." Oh no, I think it was something like, "Who does your wife support?" You know, what does she support? Okay. It's like, her only place is the kitchen.
Oh, is this an old quote?
This is the president of a country, do you know what I mean? I was like,
wow.
Oh wow. Do you know that story? You know, have you heard
I think it's an old quote though. I don't think it's new.
Oh yeah, but I'm like, you know.
Oh, okay. But yes.
I'm so 2008.
Yes. Yes, the president did say it. He did say that.
I was like, oh my goodness, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean,
but yeah, so I think if that's something that you can hear in this day and age, why should especially a woman or a mother feel like they need to invest anything else into their daughter? Because this is her only expectation. And if she's lucky and she marries, I don't know, someone nice and rich, that's it. That's all they ask for. So, but you see people pushing boundaries. You see women making a difference. And I think that variety is kind of encouraging us all. And even men now, I think, no, I want someone who's hardworking.
Yeah, I want a powerful man, a powerful woman. I want someone who is.
I want someone who can make a difference in this world. You know, I want a woman who knows her purpose, who can influence other people. Yeah, I think people are changing their minds to say, actually, I don't want just someone to stay in the kitchen and cook. Whilst you still have the people, that's just what's
happy for that. Yes. But I think more so where I get irked is really when that is the main narrative. Excuse me. When that is pretty much all I hear, our being spoken to our daughters or our sons. That listen, okay, pretty much the hype for you is to be a husband or to be a wife. That's it. I'm like, no, but there's so much more you have to offer the world. So much more.
It's very problematic actually because I was telling someone this yesterday because I spoke to one of my friends and she got married not too long ago and she said, they've painted this marriage life as the peak for me, you know. She's like, I'm not feeling it, you know. It's not that she's not feeling a marriage, but she can't. If this is the peak,
if this is it, then someone sold me a lie.
You know? She's like, I was having fun a few years ago, you know. This is not it. Like this can't be it. So I think she's realizing, there is so much more that she needs to do and she can do. And this doesn't need to be, the best moment of her life. She can still do so much more. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And that's an encouragement for, obviously, people like me who are not married or people who were separated or whatever. It's like you can be happy. Even whilst you're single, it's possible to still live your life to the fullest. You can actually live your life to the fullest and you can still fulfill purpose. You can still walk in line with the Lord. You can still be joyful, basically. Shouldn't lose your joy just because of that.
Amen.
Oh,
thank you. So if I could maybe go into your travels, because you traveled to how many countries?
I don't know. Probably, I don't know. Maybe it's hard to tell. I would say maybe between 30 and 50.
Wow. That's a lot of traveling. That's a lot of money.
It's a little bit of traveling, yes. I put my hand up to the carbon footprint. I don't think Turbo's going to be too pleased with me.
So over your travels, what do you feel like you've learned from, the different cultures?
I think the biggest thing I've learned is that the world is just so vast, I feel like growing up as a little girl, I just always thought everything that I knew around me was the best, you know. Our rice was the best, you know, our beans was the best, you know, because that's all I knew. And I think you can be deceived, you know. You can think, oh, noodles is the best, our clothes is the best, our everything's the best. But traveling opens your eyes to the wider world, you know. You can embrace new people, you can embrace new cultures, new ways of doing things, you know. You can learn so much from being around other people, especially if you spend time with the people in the communities and, you know, the local people. You can actually grasp their culture and their understanding. Some cultures are so vast, you know, and I thought my culture was vast, but if you spend time with a lot of, I mean, I was in China for like 3 to 4 weeks or so. And honestly, you just learn so much from their way of life, all the interesting things that they believe, that some of them you're like, whoa, you know, it's just, you just learn so much from being around other people generally, which is, it's a privilege to live in a country like this where there's so many people, you can meet so many people and learn so much as well. So to travel is even better,
Okay. Is there one thing you can point to that maybe has changed your mind on something, or is there one trip that you can say, wow, okay, maybe that trip?
In regards to travel?
Yes.
Well, there is something that's changed me, but it's nothing really that much to do with travel.
Okay.
It's more of in an airport, which is weird.
Okay, go on, please.
So I remember I've had a lot of bad experiences traveling, actually.
Okay.
So there was a year where I was traveling to, I think I was traveling to Greece or something, and I was in Stansted Airport. This wouldn't make any sense to anybody, but it really changed me, so that's it.
Okay.
And I missed my flight.
Okay.
Because I had an e-ticket and it was complicated anyway. I tried to scan it didn't work. They sent me back. Eventually she was like, you can't get on the flight anymore. And my friend was inside and she was like, I'm still here. Like an hour later, they were still living there, to be fair. But she was like, I'm still here. Why can't you come in? The lady said I couldn't come in. But I was so upset. I was really just so upset. And thankfully, my brother came out to help me.
Okay.
So he missed his flight too, which is not that, thankfully.
Oh, wow.
But he missed his flight too. And I think I bought the tickets for that flight at £35, right? Something like that.
Okay.
One way.
Okay.
And my friend's like, oh no, I don't want to be there on my own. What am I going to do? So I was really upset. I was really upset. And my brother said to me, why are you crying? Because I was crying. I said, why are you crying? Don't you ever cry for anything like that? I said, but she was really horrible, because that person was really horrible to me, you know.
Okay.
I went into like 5-year-old me, you know. It was like, don't ever cry for anything like that. And he was like, I will buy your ticket. This was like, the new ticket was like £500, I'm telling you.
Wow.
So my brother's like, I'll buy your ticket. And he bought my ticket. But that really changed something in me. Like, every time I've traveled, a lot of the time after that, I remember what my brother told me. Because I don't really like to spend money and it really hurts my soul.
Okay.
So I remember what he told me. If you have the money, just pay for it. You don't need to, don't overthink it. Don't think, oh no, this money, because I'm telling you, the way that money hurts me.
Oh yeah, £500 is a lot.
It's a bit much, you know. I'm that person that makes their train ticket and I don't want to get on the train. I'm so annoyed, you know. But that kind of stays with me, and I just remember, don't overthink it. Just pay for what you need to pay for, especially if you can afford it, and just go. I remember this a few years ago. I was leaving London. I was coming to Manchester, and I missed my train by the second. And he was like, "You need to buy another one, £81." And the first thing I thought is, I need to go to Victoria, see if I can get the mega bus. You know, this was my
Wow.
And I was like, I need to go because I'm not paying £81 for my ticket. And you know, that voice was just there, like, think of this. You can afford it. Just pay and go. Just live a comfortable life, you know. So
don't sweat the small stuff. If you can do it, just
Yeah, if you can do it, don't sweat it. Just do it. Yeah, especially working in my field, you would think that I would think, oh, life is really short, just spend it. But I'm really not like that. Look at my phone.
What is
The
that?
iPhone 5S.
5S. Wow. Goodness. That's probably older than me. I'm just joking.
All right, then.
Well, wow. Okay. That's interesting.
So it's just, I know a lot of people, their parents would be like, stop spending money. My dad is the type that would be like, Tio, I spend a little money.
Enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. Okay.
But I do travel, so I spend money on traveling. But yeah, apart from that, sometimes I just remind myself it's okay to just pay for it and keep it moving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So what would you define as success?
What would I define as success?
Yeah.
Well, if you feel like I think success is just fulfilling your purpose, right? So if you know what your purpose is and you're working in line with that, I think that would be, a lot of people can consider something successful that you might not consider successful, right? So you need to define what success is to you.
Okay.
Because if you think something is successful, it is successful to you, So if your main goal in life is to,
get a lot of money.
Yeah, if you want to be a master coder, and you do it, but you never really added a wife, you never really had kids, and other people are like, oh, he was not a successful man, but you
did what you wanted.
You got what you wanted.
Okay.
So I think it's knowing your own purpose and fulfilling that, or fulfilling your own dreams, basically. I think if you're not a Christian, at least, fulfilling your own dreams, I think it's good.
Okay. So within that same question, if someone was to say to you that, I feel like, to me, earning a lot of money is success, would you consider financial success as...
Well, it depends. If that's the meaning of success to you, absolutely.
Okay.
I do. Obviously, there's a thin line between. I don't know. I guess for me, as a Christian, for you, Laolu, as a man. I know you're Christian too, so I'm gonna throw you in the.
No. Born again Christian, Jesusbaby. I mean, it's in the name.
You need to obviously look after your family, right? So there's a requirement. So you do need financial aid, shall we say? So you do need to be financially stable. But I don't think the definition of success is financial. I'm sure you'd meet a lot of people in the world who were financially successful and may not feel. I mean, what if I just gave you $1 million now? Is that you done? Do you know what I mean? I don't think there would be. Even if I gave you 10 million, you're not going to be like, oh, I'm successful now. No, you'd be like, oh, I have 10 million already.
Let's get 20 million. Let's double it. Let's triple it.
Is that what if I give you 100 million?
Yeah, how can I maybe double it, triple it?
Well, what if you double it? What are you going to do? Is that's your
No, so this is me playing devil's advocate right now.
Sorry?
I said this is me playing devil's advocate right now.
Okay, well, if I give you $1 million, if you want to double it,
yeah,
put it in Tesla stock, maybe. Double it.
Yeah, maybe Tesla, maybe Amazon, one of those.
Shameless plug for Elon Musk.
But yeah, I asked that question because I see a lot of people who feel like to feel like they're fulfilling purpose, or to feel like they're doing something, in this world, they must have a lot of money. They must be doing well. I mean, if it comes with fame, so I'm talking about maybe the people like the Beyoncés, the Roger Federers. These people are the people they would idolize, and they would say, yes, he's fulfilling purpose, she's fulfilling purpose, they're fulfilling purpose, because they have a lot of money.
But that might not be why. It might like Roger Federer because he's fulfilling his purpose of being one of the top players in the world, or Beyonce being one of the top, If it's just money, I mean, it's a bit empty, isn't it? Or I don't know. What do you think?
I think that's a perfect word, empty. Because if I was to define what purpose is to me, excuse me, I feel like purpose. So we have passions, we have talents, we have gifts, we have skills. The idea of all of these things is that they should come together to provide us a platform. So, for example, I wanted to play football. If it so happened that I got into football and I was a Premiership footballer and I was great, my purpose would not be to be a footballer. My purpose would now be, with the platform of a footballer, what am I doing with it? Am I giving a voice to those who don't have a voice? Am I helping people who possibly won't be helped? Or am I, doing something? So then I can now attach and say, so this is my purpose, to help this group of people or to give these people a voice. Do you understand? That's what I would term as a purpose. Now, again, it's true, like, in line with what you said, it depends on different seasons. In this season, maybe I have a lot of money, so I can do a lot more things with money. And this season, I have a lot of time, so maybe I can help more in the church. So then that's what I think. So now to say that, no, it's really about the money, I feel kind of trivializes the whole point of, having a purpose. Like, if God created you to have a lot of money, then what's the point? God has money. He came and everything on earth is pretty much ours.
Absolutely, yeah.
If the idea was for you to come here and get a lot of money, I don't know what you do with it, but then die and leave it, then it kind of, so that all that work you did to get it kind of, it's kind of working in vain.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So that's kind of where I see it. I'm not sure if you see it the same or differently.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think even money is a bit low, to be honest. I think money is just far too low. Even if you say something like, money is just not, it's just not it. Yeah, it just can't be it. I doubt that, I think money, we can't obviously trivialize money itself because it's important. We need it for our daily, everyday living. I mean, one of the impressive things that we know is that in the word, in the body of Jesus, it was bought back by a rich man. So money is important. We see, they say, oh, the voice of the poor is not heard, However, for that to be the purpose of your life or your journey, as many people call life, including myself, it's just it's such a fickle life, if that's all it is. Like I said, it just means if I give you £100, are you done?
And check out.
Check out. All right. If that's your, you see a lot of people say, "Oh, if someone says my purpose in life is to sing at the O2 Apollo." Okay, you win
do that like 17.
Apollo, are you done then? It's like you're done. All right. So I think, this is why I think it can be seasonal as well. But obviously we do need money. In my kind of so in the time that I said I was not working for the 2 years, I obviously needed to save money before that time because I wasn't working for 2 years, which is quite something. And I moved to London, which is amazing. Fun. Cheap city to live in. Wow. But in those 2 years, it was just about giving your time to the Lord. It wasn't about money this time. I mean, you needed money because, like I said, I was losing thousands of pounds not working. I'm still paying to be in London. So, but it was about my time then. This was what the Lord wanted from me now, to give 2 years of my life to give this to this purpose. When I came out, I'm like, Lord, what do you want now? And I'm like, it was difficult because I Lord, what do you want to do? It can be hard, really, separating your own voice from the Lord's voice. I'm like, is this what I want, or is this what the Lord wants? But I think to then say, I wouldn't say now that I then chose that path because I went to pursue money. No, absolutely not. I do get paid, and if I didn't get paid, I wouldn't go to work. However, that is not my purpose. this is hopefully an avenue for the Lord to even be able to fulfill His purpose. You know, as long as my purpose is in line with God. But obviously, if you're not a Christian, like I said, it's completely different for you. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. Thank you. I really appreciate it, honestly. Final question.
Yes.
This wasn't that bad, was it, though?
This interview panel, gosh. No, it wasn't bad. No, it was fine.
Okay. Final question. So, what advice would you give your younger self in the journey of discovering your purpose, who you are, where you're going? What advice would you give your younger self?
What advice? How young are we talking?
I feel like it would probably be maybe a time when you are maybe really getting to discover who you are or what you're trying to do. So I don't know.
I think, to be honest, I will tell myself everything's going to be okay. And I think a lot of the times, I think that is life's main issue, right? We fear the unknown. What is my life going to be? Am I going to have this? And I think now I feel more assured that everything is going to be okay. And as long as I walk in line with the Lord's will, everything's going to be fine. But I wish I sort of knew that then. It's like you worry about things, even at the age that you shouldn't really be worrying about things. You're kind of like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? How is my life going to play out? You know, sometimes you feel I'm not saying that, so don't be thinking I failed, guys, but sometimes you fail the silliest little thing and you're like, oh my God, you're so devastated. Like, this is the end of me. I failed, biology 1 or whatever.
No, it's true. It's true.
But actually, you just tell yourself, it's actually okay. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine as long as you're diligent in walking in line with whatever your purpose is. You're going to be fine as long as you. For me, that would be holding on to the Lord. As long as you're doing that, like come what may, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Okay. You're going to be fine, Laolu. You're going to be fine.
So really, what you needed to hear was just don't be anxious. Don't stress over the little things. Don't worry about the things you can't change. Just keep going.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you fall down, get up, keep going.
Yeah. And it's just actually, if you fall down, you will get up. Sometimes when you're down, you're like, how am I going to get up? You will, you will get up. You absolutely will. So be encouraged, T. I'll tell myself. Actually, it's funny you say that because I think a month ago, I was listening to someone saying something about telling your younger self something, and someone had recorded. This is really cheesy and cringy, so this one. So someone said something like, record a voicemail for yourself to listen to 5 years later. So I did that. So 5 years later, I still have my iPhone 5S.
Wow. Do you still have the voicemail?
No, I only recorded it. I still have the voicemail, but I only recorded it about a month ago.
Oh,
to listen to 5 years later.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that's going to be fun if I have to keep my phone. This is my incentive.
I mean, you could save it on the cloud, though. You could save it on
I know.
Yeah.
It's on the cloud.
Okay. Oh, wow. Thank you very much for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing.
But yeah, you should do that. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I think it's something we should do. I would love to do
Or you can write yourself a letter for like 5 years later or something.
Or record a video.
Do you know what I mean? When you're too big for us, when you're too big to talk to us, just everyday people, you change the title. Just celebrities.
Just celebrities. But that's the thing, though. It's everyday people that become celebrities. It's everyday people that are thrust into the fame, into the glory, and the greatness.
You think so?
I believe so.
I disagree with you, Laolu. I'm sorry.
Let's hear it. Miss Contrarian, let's hear it.
Only because I think if that's everybody, that means there's no need for that word,
What word? Celebrity.
Yeah. If everybody is everyday people, that it kind of makes the word useless. So everybody surely...
Is it everyday people or celebrity that you're talking about?
Sorry?
Is it everyday people or celebrity you're talking about?
Well, I'm saying everyday people, if you're using like just everyday people, you got a definitive article for just everyday people. I'm going all grammatical on you now. That means everybody can't be just everyday people, or we'll just be people. No. There will be no need for everyday because everybody is everyday.
Everybody is everyday. That's the point. Everybody
I'm so dramatic and fancy.
No, everybody is everyday. No, it's true. I mean,
everybody is everyday people. Really?
Yes.
You should change it to just people then. I've come on your channel to argue with you.
No, this is good. I like this. No, okay. So when I was thinking about the name, just everyday people, I really have spoken to and analyzed some of these celebrities, and the reality is they really are just everyday people. They just so happen to be extremely gifted in an area, and then the whole world love them for that. And this is where they get the fame and then the acclaim. But really, if they were put in a different country and they were just walking the street and nobody knew them, they would be an everyday person. No? And then maybe when they were working in that gift, and then...
I'm only joking. No, I see your point. I see your point for sure.
Because when they go home, at home, they're just mom or dad or uncle or brother or sister. They're not really that person with the gift.
They're like loaded uncle, you know?
True.
The uncle that comes round and you keep dancing around.
True. They could have a lot of money. And they could have, but at the end of the day, they're just another person. So, just everyday people.
I guess they die everyday people. Everybody dies everyday people.
Gosh.
Sorry, I have to go.
That was dark. Goodness, T.Y.
I work in a hospital, don't blame me.
Okay.
Sorry, let's lighten the mood. Yes.
But so that's kind of why I chose the name. Really just
because... I like it.
Just everyday.
And I'm not just saying that, I actually like it, yeah. That's good.
Thank you. Well, thank you for being with us on the show. I hope you enjoyed it.
Oh gosh, yes. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for the nuggets of wisdom. I'm sure it's helped, some people, some younger people, men, women, older, younger, just to, think differently about, a situation or maybe the way they're thinking as well, just to challenge the way they think. So thank you very much. Thank you guys for watching that episode on Just Everyday People. I hope you learned something. T.Y. was amazing, wasn't she? I hope you guys learned something from her journey, from some of the advice, she's accumulated over the years. Her take on the need to have a spouse rather than finding out who you really are. I hope you guys have learned something from that, to find out that you really don't need to be aligned to someone before you, to find who you really are. But guys, please stay tuned. We have a lot more videos coming, honestly. We're churning them out every other Sunday. We have videos dropping Wednesdays, Sundays, so please guys, just stay tuned. Like, share a comment, leave us a note, subscribe, press that notification bell just so you are updated when we send a video. Thank you guys. God bless you.